listeners, Harika here, and I'm super excited to welcome you to UppTalk. If you're ready to learn and get your hands work wonders in the world of information technology, then you're in the right place. When I say UppTalk, we are not just another edtech company. Consider we are your learning partner committed to unlocking your full potential. Whether you're stepping into the world of technology for the first time or looking to advance your career, we provide top-tier, hands-on courses to build up your career. Let's take our first step towards learning here and explore it.
What is absence management? When we talk about absence management, you can see my screen. I can see it. See, we have actually what is the absence plan. We have to run approvals, adjust balance, enter and edit balance, delete balance, enter balance absence, approve certificates, approve reject, ask for information. What does the HR admin do? Does absence plan run approvals, adjust balance, enter and edit, delete balance? HR admin is what? He is what do we screen what? Enter the leaves, adjust any balance. What does the HR admin do? He runs approvals, adjust balance, enter and delete, delete balance and absence plans, run approvals, adjust balance, enter and delete, and just need balance. Access management is like what? You have to carry on the absences of the employees. Carry on the absences of the employees. Carry on the absences of the employees, and you have to approve the certificates, access certificates, and then you have to approve, reject, ask for information, enter access information, enter access to the coordinator. You have to approve, reject, ask for information, enter access for himself, enter access for the subordinates. This is the way you do. Approve, reject, ask for information, enter access for himself, enter access for the subordinate. Approve, reject, ask for information, enter access for the subordinates. When you're entering the coordination's details, you have to approve, reject, ask for information, enter access for details, and turn off the subordinate. This is the way you're going to enter the information. Rate definition is what you have to calculate the compensation rates of the. I will tell you what is rate definition in later slide. Setup components. Are these things absence reasonable? Reasonable cause of absences. Absence plans are what a compensation offering that describes you and how to pay for us. There are three types of plans: approval plans, qualifications, and low entitlement. When we talk about absences, absence of what, how absence plan is what? When you pick, when there are three types of plans. Actually, when you talk about absences, deputy types of plans, approvals, qualifications, and low entitlement. Approval plans are those when you create absence plans that enable purpose to approve time for the purpose of paid leave. Approvals are where I want when they are. You are taking paid leave. That is for vacation. Suppose example vacation where you're going for a vacation. I'm going for a vacation 50 grand a day. Then in that case also you will get paid for that qualification, which I use this type to create absence plan that enables your workers qualify for the price as a result of events like long-term illness, maternity, and receive payment in the absence space. Suppose I have taken a maternity leave. I have taken a maternity leave here. When that case maternity leave me. When I take a maternity leave, then in that case I will be paid during that period. I will be paid through this period. In that case, when you're taking a MET qualification plan, you will be paid in the long term. Illness maternity, you will receive payment. During the absence period, you will receive payment. In that case, you can receive payment during the absence period. You will receive payment during that absence period. Receive payment qualification when you receive payment. No entitlement can create absence plan of this type to crack paid and unpaid access without maintaining natural balance, providing leave and title. Just periodic approvals. No entitlements create absence plan of this type to crack paid and unpaid without maintaining natural balance, providing leave and access to periodic approvals. When you are talking, then what is happening? No untethered means you are not going to be paid in that period. Unpaid leave. You are not going to be paid in that period. Without paying and maintaining a fuel balance or providing fuel for interment such as periodic. You are not going to be paid in that period. Not maintaining a fuel balance or providing such as periodic approval. You are not going to be paid in that period. That is called unpaid leave. Periodic approval. That you are not going to be paid in that period. That is called approval. That is called absence plan. There are three types of absence plan: approval qualifications and no entitlement. Now coming to absence type. Access type is what? When the primary description of the function of absence is vacation, maternity leave, sick time, and sick leave. This subset of object controls the appearance of user interface, and it obeys the general approval process. Access type is called vacation, maternity, generic absence, illness and injury, and in generic absence, childbirth. All these types are called access types. Repeating time period. At normal processing, frequency will depend on the following criteria. Repeating time period means like what is the frequency within which time period you can select that. Repeating time period within which you can select that. This thing. Leave. Repeating time. Then pattern. Pattern drives the general appearance and processing of the absence transaction. Run break means the pattern is for both absence types, such as the vacation. After pattern क्या हुआ? Generic absence. It is a general leave that you are taking. This pattern is used for both absence types, such as vacation. Unless an injury. This pattern has additional attributes and dates to track the onset of illness and injury. This pattern has additional configure attributes. Has additional configure attributes and dates to track the all serious illness and injury. That means if the person is ill or injured. There are three types of absence patterns. Generic illness and injury, childbirth and birth and birth to both planned and actual rates of left leaves. This is expected and actual date of childbirth placement. There we have general, generically, where the absence type of vacation. Illness and injury. We have the additional particular dates and rates should track the onset of illness and injury. Childbirth placement. This pattern can be configured to manage both element and planned and actual dates of leaves. This is expected and actual rates of actual dates of childbirth. When you are expecting, when you are planning to have childbirth. Actual dates of leaves based on expected and child actual dates. In that case, this is the child plan and actual rates of leaves based on expected and actual dates of childbirth and placement work. In that case, we have a child, birth and placement. In that case, this is the generic pattern of leaves. Generic leaves pattern is best used for absence types such as vacation. This pattern is actually configured to track the onset of illness and injury, childbirth. We have the planned and actual rates of leaves based on actual rate of childbirth and placement. These three patterns are generic illness and injury, childbirth, and placement. Navigation. Now, when we go to absence records, person absence records deal with absence type. Absence records deal with lookout. Absence records deals with the person management. That means whatever the account is there, whatever the people are there, that how to configure the how to maintain absence records of the employees. Schedule and monitor processes means what I like to make. You can schedule, you can run a request. Absence definitions make an absence reason certifications, plan method, etc., which have taken this retraining. I don't need a slide to explain. I can teach you like by only. Absence definitions reason certifications plans types configurations reasons. What is the reason of absence? What is the certification means? What is a duty? What is the you have to submit if the system is allowing you to submit the certification? That means what is the reason of putting the certificates? You have to put the certificates right. You have to put the doctor's certificate to maintain that this is the absence certification. Absence plans means what you have to put the app. Why are you configuring the absence? What are the absence plans? That is what we call it. Accruals, qualifications, and no one type. Absent type patterns, absence patterns, generic illness and injury, and generic illness and injury. Your camera generic, but in this. Like birth leave also. Childbirth, child was absent, configuration. I was going to be a very setup for you. Eligibility me, I factorize factors and the profile factors. That means how are you going to manage the right practices? Length of service age is a buying and duty profile. What is the eligibility profile means? What is the eligibility profile of the candidate? That means what is the how? How are the candidates eligible for the profile? The fitting candidates means manage the fitting to try to use. How are the candidates like? What are the different time periods like weekly, monthly, bi-weekly? You can see these are the setups for doing the absence of value sets, break experience, pass formulas, eligibility profiles, rate definitions, absence plans, absence certifications, absence leaders, absence times, absence categories, absence lookups. May I got? Well, that is such a fast formulas and profilers rate differentials, absence plans, absence certifications, absence leaders, access types, absence categories, lookups. Me, I got. And your lookups types is what the first front end part. The front end part. Sorry, your lookups that medical have taught you yesterday value sets. Care what the set of values of what is. We could list of values because whatever the value you have, that means whatever the list of values you have, that means it's a very small thing. You have what we have, the list of values. That means you have what you have of like speeds. You have the independent set of values, a different set of things like speeds. Then we have fast formulas. Then we have eligibility profiles. Then we have rate definitions. Eligibility profiles means what is the eligibility profiles that you have that you can go for it. Rate definitions means what is the rate definitions. What that you can calculate on the basis of rate definitions means the what is the rate with which you calculate the access factor. You can see I will show you on the screen. Absence plans means the approvals, qualifications and no entitlement. Absence certifications means you have to submit the doctor certificate. Absence reasons means you have to go for writing the what is the reason of absence reasons means what is the reason of taking the lead. Absence type means absence type. I have to check. Absence category is the one you have to check. In that area, we are going to create the right factors and create knowledge that has leg operational training. These are all blank lines of books. You have to check that you have not read a whole story, just a course. With that, you do read it because you know that you have read all this is. And then you gotta have a way to go more. And doing that, then create absence plans, absence certifications, absence reasons. Then we have to link the eligibility profile and drive factors, define the approval matrix, create absence type, and link with plan. Absence reasons. Link the eligibility profile and drive factors as required. Define the approval matrix. Create absence type and link with plan. That means you have to create an absence type and link with plan. Absence patterns means like illness and injury, sickness absence plan means sickness end. I will teach you how to do all this. Now coming to absence type plans and reasons. Types, attributes, display features, action items. What we are learning? Absence plan. Go to my client group absences. Now I'm going to explain you one more thing. All these reasons, absence certifications, access plans, access types, rate, depredations, drive factors, self-decorating time periods, absence records. Now, when we create absence plans, instead of going to absence records, go to my client group's absences. Go to schedule and monitor absence processes. Go to absence reasons. First, absence reasons. I will explain one by one what are the absence reasons. I'm explaining all these things. The effective date, effective start date. Write it as one and name as absence PTR underscore US underscore absence reasons. Absence reasons can be anything. Why are you taking leave? Make it as yours. Why are you taking leave? Save and close. Get an absence reasons. Now search for your absence reasons. Save and close. Now go to Accent certifications. Create. What are the absence certifications? Absence certification is what you can, whereby you have to submit a document that the person is taking a leave. You have to submit a document that why is he taking a leave? Same as write it a documentation. Write as US underscore doctor certificate. If you're absent, then you can write it down as doctor certificate that you have to submit a doctor certificate. Update authorization status update. Absence record update to update authorization status update. Late notice waiver. That means if you don't submit the doctor certificate, if you're not submitting it right. Doctor certificate. I'm going to submit it right. But if you don't submit it, update authorization status absence record. Update rule means update authorization. Update late notice or waiver status. That means I will have some time in submitting my doctor certificate. I will get some time in submitting my data. I have some late notice. That means I will get some time in submitting that certificate. Suppose I will take 10 days more. I will require 5 more days to submit that certificate. Late notice. If you want to configure like this, you can configure like this one, like this also. That means that certificate should be generated on demand. That means here on absence of me. That means whenever you take a leave, you have to submit that certificate. Write it down on these things because these questions will be asked whenever you go. It will last everything. When we started a career, we used to write it everything. One each tab, which is word is important in this actually. And in absence there are less setups. There are many confusing this thing. There are many confusing certificates. This is very confusing. This whole tab is very confused. When you do implementation, it is very difficult to understand each and every because each agency. You see, they are confusing. Access record update. Set value to true, set value to false. What does this allow? You want to set up the operation on demand. All access the part of date. You did. What is that absence record update? That means set value to true. That means we want the absence records update. If you want that to be true, if you want that to be false, that means you want to be update. That means you want absence records. I will teach you this because I have not started application. Access records is this one. Now due date rule. You did passage of due date, at least calculation date and captured it. Due date rule needs. Like if you have submitted these documents, if you have submitted the doctor certificate, this is the due date by which you have to submit it. Calculation date and captured it. You submit the calculation date. Calculation date from the access start date. That means if I'm taking all the leave on 1st of 9th of June, the 1st of June, leave. If I'm taking leave from 1st of June, the access start date from the access start date, that will be the calculation date. This is the calculation date for submitting the doctor's certificate documentation. Expiration date is not required. Reason rule entry required. That means if you have to give the reason for absence, you can give it. Entry required, not applicable. This is where we do it. Save and close. And the duration actually. Duration right. If you have writing the duration, suppose 5 days, you can say 5 days. I'll take the duration. That's the certification. Now coming to access plans is very important. Write it down each and every step because it's very important. Write the effective data first. United States. Now plan type. What are the approval times? What are the types I have told you? 3 types of access plans. Approval, qualification, and non. And also compensatory duration is also there. Give you there. Approvals. I will first teach you approvals. You can see. Then attributes participation. Approval entries and balance additional details. US underscore access plans. What is happening? Access. Then you miss what? Is what? That means days. You can write here access plan is days or access plan is hours. Whatever. Unit of measure. Status active. What is concurrent entitlement? Or neighbor concern. What's that? Concurrent entitlement means like multiple uses. This is the multiple uses. This can access plan. That means this office can be. This can be used for multiple access plans. This can be used for multiple access plans. That means multiple access. This employee can use multiple access plans. That is why if I enable this, you can see along with other brands simultaneously during access. That provides plan entitlement along with other clients simultaneously during access period. That means everybody can use this thing. Description plan. Number of days, hours, calendar days, calendar day. What are the difference between calendar days and days? Calendar days including weekends. How do you know? Because hours is calendar days. Or our organization leaves are based on calendar days. Calendar days is you are submitting the. When you are submitting the number of can be a calendar year. Weekends also include it. And days we can include it. Plan new number of days. Legislative proofing code. That is not required. That is not required. That calendar year. Calendar year. You can write here as 1st of January. You can calculate. Now coming to participation. Waiting period. What is waiting period? Waiting period. Waiting period and resting period. Waiting period is what? That is the number of days a person has to wait for approving that leave. You put approval for a truly that leave. That means you have to obey for this approval plan. You have to pay for these number of days, 5 days. I suppose I say to approve that plan. I can do days. Or 10 weeks or whatever you are now on. Loss of everything means loss of time. That means after the loss of time and routine means like when the plan like transfer the positive balance, disperse positive balance, transfer the positive balance. That means you have to transfer the positive balance to somebody's like you have to transfer the positive balance to the next payroll period. Whatever approval balances you have to transfer that balance. That is the thing. Employee termination means what? Disperse positive balance, recover negative balance. Disperse positive. If the employee is terminated, what is the access rule that is applicable? Disperse positive balance, recover negative balance. Dispose the positive values. They get recovered. I would check on both these boxes. Now transfer rules. Limited unlimited. Limited by flat amount. That means you have to limit by flat amount. Target plan formula. This is not required. Transfer rule. That means how you're going to transfer the leads that you have. As of event means as of the event date. Enrollment started when? That means when the event has started that on the 1st of June. This is the event. Enrollment started as of event. Enrollment ended as of event. Eligibility. This is very important. And if you select and add right here 10, or you can write 1 in the profile. If you have created an eligibility profile, you can attach yours, but your eligibility profile is not created over here. It is not required over here. Right here as active payroll eligible. Suppose I write it as active payroll eligible. This is the eligibility profile. I'm attaching the oh, not even close. I just forgot to tell you the other one. This will continue and then will continue to finish. We have not completed this thing. I have just completed participation. Now go to approvals. It has many gaps in between. Now that you will not. You will get confused about it. Now create a cool matrix. Create. Approval. Approval. Create expression builder. First, what would derive? Right here. Each factor. Right here as. And it is right here. Right here as a. Right here. Operate. Greater than any other. Right here as. Less than 3 months of service. Length of service. We can read. Insert it to operators. It's not a two operators. Greater than. It's not a two expression. It's not an expression. Greater than. Greater than 1. Length of service. Suppose greater than 5. That means this is the that we have made. That means 200. Accrual formula. If you want to attach the formula, you can attach otherwise. We don't. From luck. Right? I'm the one create 20. I'm getting 2 expression. You can create a formula. I'm not attached to formula. I have attached an expression. And right here as greater than operate. Right here. Start with the right. Start with 7. 212 is expression H. Say this is criteria. And you can write here as equal to, less than equal to. Insert into expression. Over length of service. You can this. Year of service. It's not an expression. You read this. This is the formula. This is the I have made this one. You can say of service. Let the service. Let the service. Less than 3 months. Greater than 5. Let the 5. Greater than 5. And length of service. Less than 3 years. All these 2 criteria have made. To create this, go to entries and balances. And right here enable adjustments. You have to adjustment and transfers. That means you want to enable transfer to update. And it updated. And entries and balances means you want to enable the transfers. Enable adjust these two adjustments. Now then, going to this stationary disbursement means what? This is for enable for administrator, enable for manager. This was when you flat amount. That means minimum you can see as $rupees. Maximum you can see as this history. Disbursement means like what amount you can dispose and the in this you are disposing. That is what dispositionary disbursement. You can go from one person to transfer that amount. Then you can call this and it will transfer. Enable adjustment means. That means whatever errors you are having, you can write. And coming to elective disburse and donations. Donations means if you are donating some amount of time. If you are directing some amount of time to donating time. Donating some amount of your approval plans to some other person. Then you can create a donation amount. You can say, suppose minimum 10,000 and maximum 1,000. Like this is the time. Donation rule I am setting for my approval plan. Enable for administrator. Enable for manager. That means administrator, managers and workers. Both these things can avail that plan. Rate name. You can write the absence rate. Whatever is the rate. If you are having the rate definition, that means with what rate. Final disbursement rate rule. That means with what rate you are going to get that. Now payroll. Integration means transfer the payroll. Absence payment information for payroll. If you want this information to be transferred to payroll, then you have to click this checkbox. Otherwise, you don't click this checkbox. You have to create an element. You have to transfer it. This is where define rate you can click as access rate. This is the way we do it. Please do like, share and subscribe to our channel. For more information, contact us sales@uptalk.com.